Hey guys, what is up? This is First 2 Weeks, and this is my rounds 1 through 40 strategy guide right here. Basically, everything you need to know to get through rounds 1 through 40. It just basically, most of this is the preparation for it, and then at the end I explain the strategy and go through some gameplay of it just to show you guys what it's like. It's really pretty simple, it's pretty fast, and gets you a ton of points for those high rounds for the trap strategies. And we're just starting right here, and we're just using the double points that we started off with from the Afterlife door over there. So you want to open that up as soon as you spawn in Afterlife, because you do start in Afterlife. And so I can just shoot 5 of the guys out of 6, and you can shoot the 6th one if you want, but I prefer to leave 1 unharmed. That way, hopefully, if you run away and there's 1 guy left and he's unharmed, then he'll spawn in somewhere else, but if he's harmed, then he will not spawn back in, and the round will end, and you're going to waste some Afterlife then. And basically, I'll show you how not to waste Afterlife, though. That's what I always do. So basically, I just knife 5 of these guys out of the 6 guys. 6 dogs will actually feed the entire dog, so you can get this entire dog fed on round 1 and solo. Round 1 on co-op would be even easier because there's more than 6 zombies spawned in at the same time. So there's the 5th kill right there, and we're just going to go over to this Afterlife box that's right next to us right here. And we're going to go up past the dog and turn on Electric Cherry in the gondola. And the round does start during the middle of this. I try to respawn them to save me a little bit of time. It does work for a little while, but once you're in Afterlife, they tend to die out quite a bit. So if he's injured, the round's probably just going to start. And unfortunately, I don't have audio on this, so you're not going to hear the round start, but at some point during this, it does start. It does restart, I should say. And then, so I go down here for the double point store for style points, I guess. You really don't need to do it, though, whatsoever. It's not necessary for the strategy at all. I just do it just because I have enough time and I can. But, so we're at round 2 right now, and we're just going to go feed that one last guy to the dog. And, yeah, that's pretty much it for the first dog, and that makes one of the dogs just a lot simpler than actually having to try to rape train or whatever you want to try to do in here. And it really helps to get this done a lot earlier too, because then you can have the Hell's Retriever a lot earlier, and you can get Hell's Redeemer a lot earlier, and having Hell's Redeemer at like a somewhat early round is pretty essential, I guess. So then that dog is fed right there, but you can't hear because there's no audio, because for some reason my HD PVR just doesn't give me audio lately. I don't know what's up with it. But then anyways, after you get done with that dog, head over into this room and pick up the MP5. Start getting yourself a ton of points, because that's the next part of the strategy. Get plenty of points so you can open up that 2,000 door upstairs and then pay for the 750 gondola. You can also get enough money for Jug if you really want to. If you want to save that much for Jug, go ahead, but do not open those 2 doors I showed right there. There's just the 1 door. Just do not open the 1 door that is circled on the left side in white, and the blue door over there is where it would be in Afterlife, so that would be how you'd open it in Afterlife. So make sure you leave that 1 door shut that goes on to the laundry room, to the showers. So make sure you leave the door shut. That's pretty essential to the strategy on the higher rounds. Not so much for 1 through 40 though, but for the higher rounds that's definitely essential. Alright, and now that we've got enough points to actually go over here and open up the gondola and this door, because this door does cost 2,000 points. Now we're going to go over where Jug's at. We don't have enough points for Jug at this point, and I'll show you how to get enough points. I mean, basically, we're just going to go around and raid train the second dog. The second dog can get a little more complex than the first dog. Well, it definitely is a lot more complex than the first dog, especially since the first dog you're sniping guys on round 1. After this point, I mean, make sure you have enough MP5 ammo as well. Make sure if you're low, you refill before you leave. Either that, or just come over here with enough points and prepare to buy the Tommy gun on the wall over there, the M1927, I believe it is. That's a great gun to use for this as well. But so basically, I don't really space the kills out anywhere near what I do on the first dog, because I don't want these guys to be pinning me in the corner. I have no Jug. If I had Jug, it'd be a different story, and I could probably just go around with these guys and just rape train a ton of them together. But anything can happen when you don't have Jug and you're trying to rape train like this, and I end up having a little bit of luck throughout this as well. I usually don't go down during this anyways. I'll usually have some stupid down later on, just messing around with trying to kill Brutus on the Golden Gate Bridge. I've tried spawn killing him, like C4 spawn killing, inspired from M23 Survival, but just a Claymore, as you know. And yeah, that's ended badly before, just because I've tried doing that stuff, just stupid stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, and this dog is completely fed now. That is the last guy, so yeah, that's it pretty much. I mean, and I don't have enough points for Jug at this point, and so I just get a couple more kills here just to try to have the round still lasting as well. So I go over here, go into Afterlife. I go down to this door. If the Warren's key happened to be the first spot, go ahead and open that door for the plane part. And so I go down there and grab the plane part and Jug. And after that, just get enough points to take the gondola back, and that's pretty much it. So now that we've got enough points to take the gondola back, I skip forward a little bit. This is round 5 now. Before that was in round 4, now this is like midway through round 5, I'd say. Now that we've got this done, we're going to go into the next door that we cannot open. But first, we're going to get some extra points here because you can just go over there and just throw a face and you get 20 points per frag. I don't know really why. I'm not really sure if that was more of a hint towards Hell's Retriever when people, or Hell's Redeemer I should say, when people haven't found out about it yet. That was more of just like a hint to, hey, throw something in there, but whatever it is, you get some extra points from it. So open these 2 doors right here. That door right there in front of us, do not open that ever throughout the entire strategy. That's very essential. But you open those 2 doors and it costs you 2,000 instead of 1,000 to get through here, so it's kind of a pain, but it's definitely be worth it in the higher rounds. So now that we've got up to the third and final dog, we're just going to get an afterlife here to use them up for the plane parts, but we're going to skip over that because those of you who don't know how to build a plane, I do have videos on that as well. And I'm guessing a lot of you do know how to build it and stuff by now, so we're just going to skip over that. And if you want to look through that and how to do that, then I have videos on it. Go through my channel. And I'll also put links in the description, probably on the screen with annotations as well. So I'm just going to kill a bunch here. And this is a lot harder than any of the other 2 dogs because it's just a lot smaller of a room, a lot less space to run in. You really can't leave this room either because the hallways are just too small unless you have a really good gun. You're not going to go through those zombies very well. I mean, you could go through it pretty well with the MP5, but then you're running out of ammo, you gotta reload, and it just doesn't work well to that point. By this point, I've realized that this is basically the end of the round, so I'm ready to train these guys around, and now I'm taking my time more with it, because this is not a full horde of 24 zombies. If it was a full horde of 24 zombies, it would be extremely difficult to raid train around, I would imagine. I haven't really done it ever, because I've always just kind of killed a bunch off. And I'm leaving that nuke there because I just want to finish this, and there's really just no point to killing them right now with a nuke because I've got a bunch just sitting here just waiting to be killed for the dog, and not for the third and final dog, and that's going to be the hardest part of the strategy right there pretty much, along with the box sometimes. The box sometimes can be a real pain, and I've had some bad experience with it. I noticed this blank guy right there, I'm just doing this like towards the end of the round. It's not really the end of the round yet, but towards the end of the round, so I run through that door, get a little bit of luck, switch to MP5 so I can quickly take that blunder gas. And what my strategy is basically, get the blunder gas. Don't take the free one because you're going to take the free one later. And also, so this is the way we're going to go through the bottom here. Don't go through the laundry room door over there from the top where I showed you when we first started out. Go from the door over by the warden's office down by double tap, and that's how you're going to get to the basement and everything. That's how you're going to access the rest of the map, as well as you could do it through the gondola, I suppose. But it's cheaper this way, and I got to get through here to do some more plane stuff anyways, so definitely just go through there. So now that we got the blunder get, I went and got the free blunder get, and for more information on how to find my channel as well. And it actually gives you the acid gat, and as I showed you, I don't even have the acid gat kit parts yet, and so I definitely haven't assembled it. But you can just have the acid gat and the blunder gat at the same time. It's awesome for this strategy. It's absolutely awesome because that sweeper is extremely effective on Brutus. Reminds me of George a little bit though. And so basically, this is the strategy now. I went to the Golden Gate Bridge in between this, and I packed both these guns, so now I have the sweeper and the blundergat, or the sweeper and the Vitriolic Withering now. So now I have that. I don't have a zombie shield on my back right now, I definitely should, but to build up points, I would definitely recommend doing this strategy before you leave to the Golden Gate Bridge with just the unpacked weapons, because it's really easy in the early rounds with weapons as good as these are. And with my Turtle Beach ninja hearing over there, I hear that, but of course you guys can't hear because there's no audio on this. So I heard that power spawn in over there during the nuke. But yeah, just come over here and just start using this strategy. I'm going to go through a little bit more here, but start using this before you head off to Golden Gate Bridge to get all your perks and get that zombie shield all put together and everything. Definitely helps out a lot. And here's Brutus in the meantime. This is how you're going to kill Brutus on the highest of the high rounds. Right here, just one Claymore takes his helmet off, and the second one, it'll kill him. No matter how high the round it is, it'll always kill him. And so the sweeper is really effective for killing Brutus as well. So it's definitely something you're going to want to make sure you know, that just use that a ton if you don't have your Claymores anymore because you miss them or something, because that does happen to me every once in a while. So I would definitely prefer having the sweeper over just leaving Claymores on the side, because you could leave Claymores on the side from previous rounds if you didn't need them. You could just kind of put them against the wall and just pick them up later if you needed them to kill Brutus. But if you get to the really high rounds, like 100 plus, that's going to really increase the likelihood of having a G-spawn error, and I don't want to go through that, so I prefer to just have the sweeper. who knows, maybe the sweeper would be completely useless against Brutus in the really high rounds, like the 100 plus those. I mean, we'll end up seeing, I'll end up trying it eventually here. But even on like round 27, I think it was around round 27, and I could actually kill Brutus one shot, not even take his helmet off, just one shot, just completely dead to the head. So I mean, on round 62, it was still like one shot to take off his helmet, and that was about it. So I mean, it's still really easy on the high rounds, but we're gonna see how it is on the extremely high rounds. I bet it's something similar to Claymore though, where it's just one shot for the helmet, one shot for the rest of them, and that's it. But basically, yeah, you guys been watching me do my strategy here. You just pin him in the doorway. Just put all the guys in the doorway. Use Electric Cherry for that first initial shot because it takes a really long time to get the Vitriolic Withering shot to actually work well. So you basically just trap those guys in the doorway and just have them all just stand there and just keep throwing back Vitriolic Withering and shocking with Electric Cherry over there. And one thing to watch out for when you don't have the Zombie Shield, and this is why I definitely recommend getting it every time you lose it, which is every couple of rounds probably, just those consistent hits and those Vitriolic Withering splash hits. It doesn't let you re-heal as quickly. So things can go bad pretty quickly, and it's extremely difficult to get out of here. I've done it before, but it's really hard to get out of here without a jug. So you definitely just want to like try to just keep firing shots in there, but it's so hard because you don't have jug, you don't have Electric Cherry to shot them, and you don't have speed or double tap to make those shots go faster. So you're basically firing 100% of the time without perks, and it's really hard. But yeah, I mean, this is basically the strategy. You just pin them all in the doorway right there, and they'll just pile up right there, and it's just extremely easy. This is round 40, just showing you guys, yeah, you can get through all the way through round 40. I've done it 2 separate times. And after round 40, it just becomes extremely slow for one, and two, I mean, you start to run out of ammo because it takes up quite a bit of ammo doing this on the high 30s. And even at like 35, you're still completely fine, and you can probably just go over and just go start doing the normal trap strategy. But I mean, it just takes so much time because the zombies get so much more health, and you probably couldn't even do it you probably couldn't do it much past 40 anyway, just because you don't have enough ammo to do it. It's just not enough ammo to even try. So yeah, we're just running through round 40 here. It's just really simple. This is just as easy as it gets right here. Alright, and now we're just going to go through my every time I get to round 40 on this. I've never failed to get around 40. I've just done this 2 times while doing higher round attempts, and then I've just stopped doing this after 40 because there's really not much of a point to it. On this one, I almost run out of ammo and I come really close to it, but I end up being able to just get through the rest of round 40. While I've got the Vitriolic Withering out there, I like to soften them up with the sweeper in between shots there every once in a while, just because you can, because you have a lot of ammo from the sweeper still. And every time I have a power up like that, I just throw the Hell's Redeemer actually, because I had that at this point. I just throw the Hell's Redeemer at it just because it just makes it a lot simpler, and just kind of because it's kind of cool actually. There's not really much more to it than that. But another thing, Electric Cherry really doesn't work a lot of the time too. You gotta make sure you're watching out for that, especially if you're using a sweeper. If you're using a sweeper, I mean, basically at some point you're just gonna have Electric Cherry just stop working, where it's just also just not gonna work for you anymore. If it's not giving out the spark from underneath, it's not a graphical error. It's actually not giving you Electric Cherry here, so you gotta definitely watch out for that. With a sweeper, at some point you're just gonna have the problem with it. You're gonna have the problem where it just doesn't have the Electric Cherry coming off from underneath it. So I'm getting hit a couple times here, and yeah, there of course I don't have Electric Cherry going out from underneath it. I still managed to jump out of the corner though, and be able to still save that. But I mean, it could have gone bad really quickly because, yeah, I don't have the Zombie Shield at this point either. And the Zombie Shield really protects you from a lot of that splash damage, as well as just like half the zombie hits. It doesn't even have to be from the back. Even other hits it'll still save you a lot from it. And so yeah, that's pretty much it for the entire strategy here. Just make sure you watch out for that Vitriolic Withering as well, because if it's Vitriolic Withering without Electric Cherry, it doesn't make them attracted to it nearly as much as you think it does, because it takes like a good 4 or 5 seconds basically. And here's just a clip from my gameplay from one of the high round attempts I had here. How one of these games ended. It was just really stupid. I mean, just looking back on it, it's just kind of funny, but it's just really stupid things that can happen to the strategy. And like, I love the strategy right here. It's really fast, but the thing is, it's just, I don't know, it's just not reliable enough for me. I just don't really like how unreliable it is, because there's too many zombies here. You can't hear them all scream there, but there's a ton of them because there's no audio. But there's a ton of them there. And they ended up just pushing me into the acid trap. The first time I kind of just went into it myself accidentally, and the second time I actually got pushed into it. Like, the zombies pushed me, I wasn't moving there. And they just decided to throw me in the acid trap. So here I am, finally getting my perks back at the end of that, well, during this round still, because it's mid-round. I finally got speed color back, so I'm ready to train these guys in here. I shouldn't have been so greedy with the Vitriolic Withering, definitely should have just sprayed it earlier, and I saw it coming. I saw I was going to get pinned there, so I was ready on the trigger to shoot that Vitriolic Withering out so I can kill them. It does actually kill the zombies if you stick them with it, so the zombies that are stuck with Vitriolic Withering, you can actually kill them every time insta-kill. Other zombies than that, on round 62, it's pretty useless. So I mean, here I am, just have that red screen again, and I just have that uh, that there's a couple hit markers on these Vitriolic Withering shots. They're just staying that red screen right now. They're just keeping me at that red screen so I can't heal. If you'll heal at a much faster rate, obviously, if you don't have that red screen and you're not getting hit like this. And so one zombie, just the trendsetter of the zombies, the hipster of those group of zombies, he just decides to come over and hit me. So that's how that game ended, basically. Just stupid mistakes like that. It's not even really stupid mistakes. It's just, I don't know, it's just unreliability of that strategy. I can't rely on it as much as I should be able to, I would think, for a zombies strategy like that, because all zombies is basically on those really high rounds, it's just consistency. And you can see right there how long I hit that shot off for, and it still doesn't save you. You definitely gotta watch out for that. Don't expect that thing to save you. It's not anywhere near like what the Liquefire would be. Even the Liquefire still takes a little while, but Liquefire still is a lot faster than this. The Thunder Gun from Black Ops 1, that's just instant. You can trap yourself anywhere and you're out of it. But even there's too, I mean, just nothing. It won't save me from it. So yeah, guys, I'll be bringing you guys a high round strategy soon, but I just gotta figure out which strategy is actually the most useful, and I'll be come out that really soon actually. But the thing is, I just had problems with them just being inconsistent and not working well enough to high rounds, or just being too slow. So I mean, I'm trying to find that nice balance between consistency and speed at the same time. And I mean, I basically got it at this point. I just gotta get some nice gameplay of some really high rounds, and yeah, I will see you guys later.